The protagonist dashes forward with intense energy, preparing for an attack or skill on Hanyang Island. Using a copied skill, the protagonist unleashes a powerful rising dragon strike against monstrous beasts. Laughing confidently, the protagonist marvels at the high-quality item they have obtained. The character gleefully expresses gratitude for receiving a high-class martial art for free, unaware of any hidden costs. A game-like notification reveals that the user's strength stat is too low, having the effectiveness of their skill. Shocked, the protagonist realizes that their free skill might not be as beneficial as they thought. Frustrated and furious, the protagonist learns the hard way that nothing comes for free in this world. Regretting their choices, the protagonist laments not having trained their body, while a muscular figure laughs at their weakness. A system message assigns an urgent quest requiring the protagonist to practice multiple moves 2,000 times each to improve their strength. The protagonist calculates the sheer amount of effort required and realizes it will take at least 10 hours to complete. Feeling overwhelmed, the protagonist complains about how difficult everything is, despite hoping for an easy reward. The protagonist falls silent, deep in thought, possibly coming to terms with the reality of their situation. Motivating himself, the protagonist recalls his past struggles and convinces himself that this challenge is nothing in comparison. Determined, he decides to maximize his strength stat, showing a fierce and resolute expression. With newfound energy, he launches into extreme training, ready to push his limits. A cheerful character hums happily while carrying a bag, possibly bringing supplies or food. She warmly offers food to Taejun, reminding him to take care of himself while training. She is shocked or confused by something unexpected. A close-up of a sweating and exhausted Taejun, breathing heavily from intense training. Taejun, now muscular and toned, stands confidently, surprising those around him. The female character observes Taejun's unusual behavior, suspecting something has changed about him. The narration reveals that Taejun, once ordinary, is excelling in the B-rank hunter exam and gaining attention from guild leaders. Taejun's rapid and unnatural growth is compared to a butterfly emerging from a cocoon, highlighting his transformation. Lee Xian-ah feels conflicted about someone's growing recognition, sensing they are drifting apart. She is startled when addressed, realizing she might be caught for unauthorized training. She nervously tries to cover up, fearing punishment for using the training room without permission. Instead of scolding, the other person reassures her, patting her head. They notice an unusual aura, which turns out to be Taejun fighting inside the training room. The observer recognizes Taejun's martial art style and seems intrigued. Taejun, surprised, greets the observer, who acknowledges their past acquaintance. The man acknowledges Taejun's success in passing the B-rank hunter exam. Taejun humbly thanks him for the compliment. The man asks if Taejun is still working as a freelancer, and Taejun confirms. The man decides to make an offer to Taejun. He explains that an expedition is planned, but a member dropped out due to injury. Lee Xian-ah panics and interrupts, concerned about something. She expresses her worry that the expedition might be too difficult for Taejun. Taejun asks about the dungeon's difficulty, and they reveal it's a grade 2 dungeon with little information available. Lee Xian-ah worries about the unknown dangers in the dungeon and is concerned about Taejun's safety. Taejun is surprised by her concern and calls her name. Internally, Taejun feels frustrated, believing she is underestimating him. The man reassures them that Taejun should be able to handle the dungeon and reminds them that joining is optional. He suggests that fighting real monsters will be more beneficial than just training in a controlled environment. Taejun realizes that fighting in real battles gives a significant advantage compared to training. He agrees to join the expedition, but has one question. Taejun slyly confirms that freelancers keep all the magic stones they collect. Taejun walks through the city with a small spirit-like creature following him. A text conversation shows someone reminding Taejun to arrive on time, but he's still on his way. Taejun finds the situation annoying while the spirit calls out to him. The spirit warns him that it's dangerous to move freely since the culprit behind the evaluation manipulation is still unknown. Taejun reassures the spirit, saying he'll be with Shinhwa Guild members this time. The spirit questions if Shinhwa Guild can be trusted. A backstory panel explains that Hwarang Guild's Mati Pyong and Shinhwa Guild's Cha Sunhyun have been close friends for 20 years, strengthening the relationship between both guilds. Taejun explains that Shinhwa Guild is highly unlikely to be involved in the manipulation. Taejun confidently brags about his strength, claiming he's nearly invincible. He insists his confidence is justified, but the spirit warns him to stay cautious. They arrive at a Grade 2 transfer-type dungeon, which has no prior information. Lee Seon-ah is surprised to see Taejun already there. She introduces him to the team members from Shinhwa Team 3. No Young-chul, the youngest member, enthusiastically introduces himself. The team prepares to enter the dungeon, ensuring everyone is present. Lee Seon-ah reveals that one more person is joining, which surprises the team. She explains that a member got injured last night, so they called in a replacement hunter. Taejun is shocked to hear about another hunter, just as someone yells at him to move. Taejun turns around, noticing someone approaching. A rough-looking man steps out of a car, annoyed by Taejun. The man rudely questions if Taejun is deaf, acting intimidating. Taejun and the others realize this is the replacement hunter, and his appearance makes them uneasy. Taejun politely introduces himself to the rough-looking hunter and asks for his name. The man remains silent, staring at Taejun with a serious expression. He suddenly bursts into loud laughter, making the situation awkward. He rudely questions who Taejun is, clearly unimpressed. Ignoring Taejun, he tells the team to hurry up and enter the dungeon, frustrating Taejun. Lee Seon-ah calms Taejun down, explaining that despite his rough attitude, he is a well-known figure in the industry. Kim Ji-hoon is revealed as an A-rank freelance hunter, infamous for his terrible personality but unmatched skills. Kim Ji-hoon hoards all the magic stones, taking advantage of his freelancer status. His teammates suffer, left without resources, even for medical treatment. Taejun and Lee Seon-ah discuss Ji-hoon's reputation, realizing how terrible he is. Taejun has a moment of self-reflection, feeling like he can relate to Ji-hoon's greed. Taejun acknowledges that meeting someone like Ji-hoon was bound to happen sooner or later. Ji-hoon intimidates one of the younger team members, asserting his dominance. Taejun, with a sinister grin, plans to give Ji-hoon a taste of his own medicine.